sing this last song. Everybody in this room is going to know this is the most famous worship song ever. And this goes back hundreds of years. Every church does it. Every congregation knows it. And you probably know most of the words. In the late 1600s, a man who was raised by slavers and owned a slave ship bought himself a slave ship and would sail between Hispaniola and Florida. His name was Stewart, wasn't it? Yeah, his name was, no, John Smith. I'm sorry. There we go. Wrong story. There we go. Anyways, the man was a captain and raised by a captain, so he knew the sea very well. Well, in the early 1700s, one time he went down there and he bought a load of slaves and was bringing them back, and on the way he encountered a hurricane. Now, if you remember in those days, they didn't have radar and hurricanes were rough on boats. So the crew abandoned the ship, and the slaves abandoned the ship, and he was left on the only real property that he had in the entire world. And he went ahead and took down the sails and lashed himself to the wheel. And he said this famous prayer that everybody here said, if you get me out of this, I'll do something real nice for you. Well, the next day, he sailed into Hispaniola alone. He sold his ship, stopped his business, and he became an itinerant preacher in England and the eastern coast of the United States. And he wrote this song.